Rise and grind. Listen, the most important part of your life is when you're a kid. The most important part of your life is when you're a kid. The way you was raised, your upbringings is going to determine who you're going to be in life. If you're going to have a messed up life, a successful life, because all of those teachings come from your life, right? Come from the beginning of your life, which is when you first was born, you first was raised. It's your teachings of your parents, your morals, your principles, your values, your standards. This come from within your house. So if you grew up in a house and you seen your parents do a bunch of negative things, of course this is what you're learning, whether you want to learn it or not. Seeing is learning. So you're learning actions without even understanding what you're learning. So let's get some examples here. You might have grown up seeing your mother just have a bunch of different men in and out the house. You don't know what that is. As you get older, that'll be considered calling her a whore. You might see your parents drink, smoke. So now you get older, you become alcohol or addicted to drugs. This is your upbringings, You might have seen your parents struggle with jobs. So, of course, you're not going to have the chance to have a career because you was never taught to have a career. Your parents might not have made enough money to put you in college. So, you don't have a career. You understand? It's like a chain reaction to a lot of things. So, I'm going to go to me for a little bit. Growing up, right, my pops is not a talker. He don't talk too much. He's probably one of the most quietest people in the family. And I watch my father wake up 4 o'clock every morning and go to work. Every day, come home around 7, 8, make sure the bills is paid, took care of the crib, did stuff around the house. And I didn't know what that was as a kid. Now that I'm an older person, I'm doing everything my pops did because it was like taught by just seeing. It was seeing taught. And now here it is. I work hard. I come home. I pay bills. I take care of the house. So you could be taught good or bad things from within your household. Like I got little bad habits, what I would call bad habits, from my father. My father is a clean freak. He has OCD. This man will dust his you'll go in his car and he would shake his car mat out just about every time he goes in and out that car. I got the same habit. I vacuum my car 3-4 times a week. My father would not leave the house without, my father has a bald head, clean face. This man shaves every day. His clothes has to be up to par. He does not present himself outside the world as a bum, a scrub. Everything is about his appearance. I got that habit. I'm a barber. I shape my hair up like every day when I can. I love fashion. This comes from within the house. So, of course, you're going to pick up your own bad habits as time go on. This is what it is. But you want to learn as much good habits and traits within your house. And a lot of that comes from you want to be able to learn how to take care of a family. You want to be able to learn how to make money and be responsible. These are the traits that we do need. Every other thing, I'm not saying you can't drink and smoke. What I'm saying is, if you drink and smoke, be responsible. Don't be one that do that all day and that's your whole life. Be responsible. So, a lot of times when we go through stuff in life, who do we blame for all the bad things that happen in our life? It's easier to blame your parents. So us as parents, our job is to make sure our kids can't put no blame in us, because you do what you're supposed to do. I look at these inner cities, right? Even the ones I came from. I look at the way we was raised and the hood, and you see these kids dying in these neighborhoods and all that. These kids is dying because it's their parents' fault. these kids was not, they did not have an opportunity to leave the hood. It's the parents' job to make sure their finances, their careers, whatever, is on point to make enough money to leave the hood. Take your kids out the hood for better. You can't be selfish and say, well, I can afford to leave, but I love my hood. No, your kid might die in that hood. It's bigger than loving your hood. I love where I'm from. I love New York. But where I'm from, I know it's probably not the best thing for my kids to grow up in, the environment. So what was the best thing to do? Move the kids out the hood. It's bigger than you. A 14-year-old kid doesn't have the funds. He doesn't have the education. He's a kid. He doesn't have the means to say, you know what, I don't like my neighborhood, I'm moving to a better place. How is he going to do that? Unless he's fortunate to have a family that didn't move out, and that family member, they're in a better position, and the kids can move with them. How often is that? It's not that often. So the best thing to do is try to get your stuff in order so your kids can have a better life, a better future. And mentorship, it's so hard, man. I'm learning, like, it's so hard to have a kid, because it's bigger than just having a kid and feeding them. It's so much. It's like really the mental part, because everybody has a job, whether they like it or not, and they make a lot of money or not. Everybody works. Everybody makes some type of money. Everybody is able to just about go to Walmart and buy food. So it's easy to go there, pick some food up, cook it, throw it on the table, the kid eat. All right, that's only one part. Can you get into your kid's head mentally? That is so hard. My parents had problems trying to get into my head mentally. They couldn't. I have problems sometimes getting into my kids' heads mentally, because you create your own mindset. And a lot of times kids don't listen to their parents. They listen to everything outside of their household. I have kids right now as a barber that I mentor that love me. You're right. They come to me just for advice, calls, texts. I'm more close with probably some of these kids than I am with my own kids. Because my kids is, oh, that's my dad. It's nothing. Your kids don't sometimes appreciate you and your values like other people do, until it's too late. I didn't appreciate my parents until it was too late. But throughout my life, I listened to everyone else but my parents. So your most important thing is your home, and when you're a kid, learn your values. It's so hard. It's so hard to say this, because you can't even say, if you see something going wrong, ask questions. Why? You might think it's normal. You might see a guy come in your mother's house and beat the shit out of her, and you might think that's normal. You know, you might see your parents mess with drugs, and you might think that's normal. As a kid, you don't know what's normal, so it's so dangerous, you know, because you just don't know. You're a kid. You don't know what's right and what's wrong. So it's really up to the parents to install, right? Think about it. Smoking weed is not a bad thing, right? No more, right? Back in the days, they made it like it was a big thing. It's not a bad thing no more. Everybody smokes weed. But smoking weed in front of your kids is considered bad. Cursing. Everybody curses. But cursing in front of your kids is bad. Sex. Everybody has sex, right? But having sex in front of your kids is bad. You understand? We're playing the double standard here. So many things that's good, but it's bad when you're a kid, because a kid doesn't understand that. So it becomes bad. And that's the problem. So you got to like tippy-toe around your kids of teaching them until they're old enough to understand right from wrong. Listen, everybody, have a blessed day. That's it. Have a blessed day.